we pump those profits back into the profit cycle to generate even more profits. And I know what you're going to say. Profits? Yes, Stan. You're soaking in them.
Hey everybody, how's it going? It's your boy ExtrmWill, and this is my tech channel. So we're going to take a look at Salad. I have 30 machines up and running. I currently have an open ticket right now with Salad about this. It's only showing me 29. Another thing just to get a little bit irritated about, this should say 30. These are your like default if everything else is going wrong. This is how you know you're getting paid correctly. If it's not showing me the right number of machines, that's bad. That's really, really bad. I don't know if anyone else is seeing this where it's showing them the wrong number of machines. I physically have 30 machines. If I go through and look through the list, this is 30. I know I'm scrolling really fast through this because I don't really want to mess around with it. But this is 30. I've gone over it a bunch of times. It's 30. Every way, shape, and form I can go over it, it's 30. And this is only telling me 29. I went in, I logged into every machine to make sure every machine is logged into my account. Every machine says it's logged in. If I go to like the last 30 days and click on everything in here, it says everything in here too has made money. Like pretty much in the last 30 days. I think when I looked at yesterday for the full day, I mean, I had some of the machines didn't necessarily make a whole lot. The one machine only made 2 cents. I think 2 cents was the lowest. No, I have a couple at 2 cents. I have a bunch of 2 cents. But those ones at 2 cents, it would have, ran a 10-cent job for, 30 minutes or something like that. So, yeah, I don't know why. This has some at zeros. This has a couple going back at zeros. So, yeah, I don't know. I have an open ticket with Salad anyways. We'll try to figure that out. So if we look at the last 24 hours, up here it says I made $26.68. I think everything was running for the last 24 hours. Yeah. Because I should have, right around here, I should have come home and turned everything back on. Yeah, it is already kind of late in the... Wow, it is late in the day. I did not realize we actually worked that late tonight. I'm off work on Wednesday for Thanksgiving, so I'll go back to work Thursday night. But yeah, we had a crazy night last night, I guess, or tonight. So yeah, we got done late. It is way later. It's 5:40 a.m. It's already 40 minutes past my bedtime. So yeah, a lot of this looks like in general it should be better. Maybe not. Maybe the lows are 19 cents. And then what's the highest point? 344, 354. A little bit here where it wants to try to make money, but just can't quite do it. Maybe 354 is the high? Yeah, I guess it's not really all that much. I don't know if that 26.68 is actually going to be what it's going to say in here. It's going to say I only made 26. But yeah, that should be a full 24 hours with everything back up and running on the new update. The day before is at $17.52 because I shut a bunch of stuff off. I was just like, if it's not working and we're not getting paid for it, I'm not going to run it. I'm not running this at $17. I'm still not happy with these $26. I don't know what is going on with Salad. Hopefully they get this all worked out. Maybe if they do update 1.7.4 tomorrow, maybe it'll work. We'll see. Yeah, it's still a little light, but what we're going to do, look back the last 30 days. You can see here, yeah, I turned everything off. Still a lot of days where it's over 30. A lot of days, too, where it's just tanking down. I don't think we get to see any really good days anymore. 1.7.0 is somewhere off the screen already from when they made that mandatory. Earnings have just not been very good since they've done that. So easy way kind of to figure this out, if we go to like the 24 hours, so even if you're looking at somebody's random thing, like, you kind of need to know more information. I have 30 machines, so some of this math is kind of easier to figure out. But if you figure out what your average is here for all these lines, if you're running all straight containers, you want a straight line. You don't want to see all this up and down. All this up and down is bad. It should just be a nice straight line going all the way across. And if it is a nice straight line going all the way across, like this looks like, it's 24 is actually probably, maybe it's a little bit on the low side, but it looks like it's kind of in the middle. You multiply, these are 15-minute blocks, you multiply it by 4, gives you how much you're making per hour, and then if you multiply that by 24, that gives you how much you're making for the day. That's 96. I like to just kind of rough eyeball it, so if you can figure out what your average is for your 15-minute blocks, you can multiply that by 100, and then, just like move the decimal places, and that's how much you're making. So if it's 24.70, then it would be, I should have made like 24.70 for the last 24 hours. So they made 26.77. So this probably isn't like perfectly in the middle, but kind of way to figure it out. Just kind of like, I'm not saying like, I didn't make up here at the peak, so they weren't all running at this $35 for the 15-minute blocks. So just kind of a way to spitball and figure it out. If we get in this, I do have 30 machines, so I have 3 20-core machines with 4090s, a 16-core Threadripper with a 3090, a whole bunch of these bc/pc.com combo kits, 2 4070s, 1 4070, 4 3090s, a 3080, 3 4060 Ti's, a 3070, a 3060, and then I have a 12-core AMD. I should really put this one on Warthog. Maybe I'll do that in the next 2 days if I have time. Trying to see how much it's making. Last time I checked Warthog, I think the price on that has doubled. So stuff that wasn't profitable before is definitely profitable now. I mean, that looks like, Warthog looks like it's an amazing project. It's just difficult. It's not, my equipment doesn't necessarily line up well with it, and I don't want to go spend a bunch of money. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that money back on to convert over, but I probably have a couple rigs that I think would do well on it. I think this one would, and I believe my Threadripper would. So I want to take a look and see, because this is the newest AMD chip that I have, so I am curious to see what this one would do. And then I have 4 8-core PCs, 5 6-core PCs, and 3 4-core PCs. All these 30 series cards are all just kind of intermixed in. It's all 3080s to 3060s. Bunch of 3070s, 3070 Ti, and 3060 Ti's and stuff. All just kind of intermixed in. So you can kind of see it doesn't necessarily matter too much of how it's set up, but we'll get into the machines and what the individual ones are making. So this is 20 cores, 128 gigabytes of memory, RTX 4090. 10-cent job right now. That's amazing and ridiculous. Alright, so this should be on the new version. This is 1.7.3, and if we go to the next one, this is 20 cores, 128 gigabytes of memory, RTX 4090. This should be on version 1.7.2, and this one's doing $2.52. Not the best in the world, but with how bad Salad is right now, you kind of got to take what you can get, so just deal with it. Oh, much better than this one. Is this really making nothing? Oh, nothing. This looks like when I turned it on, I probably, what is this? Chrome Remote Desktop probably crashed this job out. It looked like it was struggling to run anyways. These numbers are all over the place. So this is a 20-core, 128 gigabytes of RAM, RTX 4090, currently doing nothing. These three machines here really where my numbers for the whole day now are hurting. Pretty simply, if these three 4090s were doing three $5 jobs, I'd be making an extra $12.50 a day, and this would all look way better. With these three machines simply not doing anything, this just looks horrible. They should be anchoring everything in. They're not anchoring everything in. I really thought too, when I put the 120 gigabytes of RAM and everything, and I put them all in the 20 cores, I thought it would just all work and run better, and I think I got a couple days of it working and running better, and that was about it. So I would love to get some 4090 jobs up and going. But I figure too, like right now with the holiday, you know, even if we're doing a lot of international work, we're not going to do as much national work here from the U.S. And I got to imagine the vast majority of their sales are actually going on in the U.S. I don't know how much international sales they have. I haven't heard anyone speak on that at all. But I would imagine with the U.S. holiday and them being a U.S.-based company, probably not going to see a lot out of Salad in the next couple of days. Alright, so if we go to the next one, it's my AMD Threadripper 1950X, 64 gigabytes of memory, RTX 3090. This one is on Salad version 1.7.1. It's doing $2.62. It's not going to get updated until I see it's not in a job, so hopefully it runs a long time, and it can take a long time before it has to get updated. So if we go to the next one, this is the start of my 12-core combo kits from bc/pc.com. Some of these I have more memory in. So this one has 96. I wanted 96 in most of these. If this goes back to actually making money, I might put 128 in all of them, but I might not, because I might work on converting stuff over. I got a lot of thinking and figuring out I got to do for what I want to do going forward. This has to be in a job now. That says no job. This must have picked a job up. Okay. Yeah, it wasn't running a job an hour ago, but now it is. I can tell because it's using 30 gigabytes of memory. It's a 4070 Ti. Like, it has to be in a job. You can't be using that much memory not in a job. So it's doing $1.30 right now, so better than not doing anything. So the next one, 12 cores, 96 gigabytes of memory, RTX 4070 Ti. This one is also doing $1.30. I'll leave the PowerShell command down below in the description. If I forget to put it down below in the description, it should be in the description for almost all the other ones. This is technically broken. That's why they have this hidden. I'm bringing it up in PowerShell. So if we look in here on the Salad GUI, it was down here, but they turned it off because it's broken. Because you can see this is all just a broken mess. So this is 12 cores, 96 gigabytes, RTX 4070 Ti, starting at $30. I already said that. So it's the next one, 12 core, 64 gigabytes, RTX 4070. This one's doing nothing. This one hasn't done anything in a while. It's been 2 days since this one's had a job. This 4070 is not a good card for Salad. I tried putting this rig on Warthog, and I don't think it was doing that well. I think my big thing was just like the power draw it had. This particular CPU is just not very good for Salad. It is too power hungry and not getting the kind of output you want. So there's that. Alright, let's go to the next one. This is 12 cores, 64 gigabytes, RTX 3090. This one's doing $2.62. This is what it should look like when everything is working correctly. See how nice and clean that is? It's been running the same job constantly. There's not a bunch of different, like, weird hiccupy stuff in it. This is what it should look like because, I mean, out of all of them we've checked so far, this is the first one we've seen where it looks correct. This is why they have the estimator turned off, because the thing is just, if you were sitting there watching it, it would just be spazzing out the whole time, and you wouldn't even be able to read it anyways. But we can backdoor into it and kind of try to figure it out. So let's go to the next one. 12 cores, 64 gigabytes, RTX 3090. This one's doing $2.62. This next one, 12 cores, 64 gigabytes, RTX 3090. This is on Salad version 1.7.1. So it's been running this job here for quite a while. So this is $2.62. So it's been running this one pretty consistently because this is 2 updates behind. So gotta like seeing stuff working. Not used to seeing that very often right now on Salad. And this one looks like it's actually running a good clean job where it's all working correctly. It's not all chopping all over, so that's nice. Let's go to the next one. 12 cores, 96 gigabytes of memory, RTX 3090. This one is also doing $2.62. This one looks like it did stop running for a little bit, and then it either picked up a new one or it started a different one that just happened to be like the same thing. So I'm going to assume it picked up a different job because it has a different code here at the end. So I'm assuming it didn't pick up the same job. I'm assuming it picked up one from a different customer. Let's go to the next one. Let's see. This one, I'm on that. I probably had to do the Revo and just uninstall Salad and reinstall Salad, and I bet you it's still not working, and that still didn't work. Man. Did I do the Revo on this one? Maybe I didn't do the Revo on this one. Let's do the Revo on this one real quick. And I'll show you this. So we're just going to quit out of it because it's not in job. And we're going to bring Revo up. And I'm going to, let's see, I did quit Salad already, right? Yeah. I'm going to click on Salad. I am not going to make a system restore point. I want to delete everything out of here. And we're going to go advanced scan, scan. And before I click on any of that, I need to come in here. We need to finish Salad. Reinstall troubleshooting. I'm not putting an answer in there because I don't even care that much anymore. And then now that I've closed those 2 screens out from Salad, now I'm going to select all and delete. And then we're going to go to the next one, select all and delete. If you didn't close out both those Salad windows, it can't actually do this correctly to scan everything and close it all out. Alright, and then we'll go in here. This is saying it doesn't like the WSL file there. So we'll go like this, and we will exit Revo out because that program doesn't need to be running. And do I have it in here in downloads? No, I do not. So we will go here. Salad AI download. Salad download. And we will check out some of the other machines. You know, I'm going to close everything down before this one. And then we'll come back to that in a second. So this one looks like it is 12 cores, 64 gigabytes, RTX 4060 Ti. This looks like it should still be on the wrong Salad version. I don't know why all those are in here. We'll clear them out and see if I get more notifications for that later. I thought I had updated all of these already. This looks like it's showing $2.62 because it doesn't have the pop-up thing up here to say to update it. I guess we can look in Salad real quick and see. Is this updated? No, because it says it needs an update. Yeah, it's not going to get one right now. So, because it's in job. It's showing $2.62. So that is nice. Come here. This one is doing, this is 12 cores, 64 gigabytes, RTX 4060 Ti. This one is doing $1.30. See, is this thing done yet? Yes, it is. So let's come here, open. Let's see, we check that one and that one. Yes. Let's check the next one. 12 cores, 64 gigabytes, RTX 4060 Ti. This one's doing... No, this one is currently not doing anything. That was over an hour ago. Oh, no, nope, it's not in job. It did 2 system checks. And it's not doing anything. This next one. 12 cores, 32 gigabytes, RTX 3070. This one is currently making 20 cents. So that's better. It was doing nothing when I checked a little while ago. So it picked that job up by 3 minutes ago. Let's come back into here. I agree. Because I uninstalled it, I need to go back through all the settings. Finish round salad. At least it should log back in really easy because I did just go through and I manually logged into every single machine. Set up PC. We can shut that down. Continue. Configure manually. I do not like video streaming, so we're going to turn that off. We're going to skip for now. Finish setup. Performance. Configure hardware. I do have a longer video on how to do this if you want to see specifically just these steps without me trying to run through it as fast as I can. Come on. Performance, configure hardware. That should open. Full screen. We're going to allow elevated. If you want to turn off from getting the 10-cent jobs, you can disable the CPU up here. That will, I don't necessarily want to do it because I think that might hurt your score overall. So I keep both these enabled, disable this. I turn the video streaming and the bandwidth sharing off. It can just make problems with your internet service provider, your IPS. Like your Netflix and your Disney Plus and your HBO and all that. They think you're pirating everything if you have that on. So it can just make a bunch of headache and hassle that I just don't want to deal with, so I just don't do it. If we go in here to the advanced settings, then I will disable auto stop and disable crypto mining. I have a video on the crypto mining too. You just don't make anything. You burn a ton of electricity to make like 20 cents. So it's just not worth it at all. The 10-cent jobs are 1,000 times better than the crypto mining is on this, so it just seems to be dumb. And let's see, I want to go back into settings. So I go back and back. Make sure it's whitelisted in Defender. Just in case that accidentally got deleted when I uninstalled everything. And I will make sure sleep mode is also disabled again. And turn auto start down to 1 minute. That should be all that. And then I can clear those out. Bring my WSL file back up. And bring salad up. And chop now. So hopefully that one will run good now for 2 or 3 days until a customer has it run something again where it all gets broken and I need to do that again. Pretty sure that is coming from the customer. That could be coming from Salad too. So we need to double check every once in a while. So this machine, 12 cores, 64 gigabytes. It did stop running the other day, so I was able to update it and go plug that other stick of memory in. I did have that stick of memory. It was in there kind of cockeyed. It wasn't plugged in. So it was only reading one stick there for, I want to say like a week when I went out there and I was moving everything around. So it is reading all 64 gigabytes now. RTX 3060. And it's doing $1.30. So that extra memory is not making a difference right now, but we will see later on down the road where there are times where it does. So this is 12-core AMD Ryzen 9 5900X, 64 gigabytes RTX 3070 Ti. This one's currently doing 10 cents. If we go back, I can't even tell. I think this was still just doing a 10-cent job, and it looks all stupid. I think this is still just a 10-cent job. This is all still 10-cent jobs. I don't feel like looking at this hard enough, but I'm pretty sure it's all still 10-cent jobs. So this has pretty much just been doing 10 cents for quite a while. I should really go throw this one on Warthog, but we will see. You can look for that video to be coming. Depends exactly how much family stuff we do in the next couple of days with the holiday for whether I'll be able to get that done or not. But I'd like to try to get it on there and see, because that Warthog price, it doubled. So a lot of what wasn't profitable, right there at the edge of profitability, it looks way more profitable now. And if the price doubled with all the extra hash rate going on, I expect there's a good chance it might see that the cost of that coin go way up. Because it's, even though I have all of this equipment that should be able to mine Warthog, it's not doing it very effectively. So like having like a brand new CPU and a really old GPU is a really good combination for that. So you could buy a bunch of brand new CPUs, but I don't know if they're going to pay themselves off, which is kind of my hesitation on it. But I might start looking into it. We'll see. We'll see. I want to try to see about using what I have right now. Alright, so that is the first group. I should be able to just open all the rest of these up now. The Chrome Remote Desktop will only let me have 20 open at a time, but I think I had closed enough of those other ones where I can get all of these right now. It's not holding 20 still there in the short term. So this is i7, 8 cores, 32 gigabytes, RTX 3060 Ti. This one looks like it is doing $1.30. This one, i7, 8 cores, 64 gigabytes, RTX 3060. This one's doing 10 cents. Boo. i7, 8 cores, 64 gigabytes, RTX 3070. This one's doing nothing. Boo. Ryzen 7, 8 cores, 64 gigabytes, RTX 3070. This one's doing nothing. And these are still... I started this an hour and 15 minutes ago. An hour and 20 minutes ago. These are all out of date. I should probably try to bring up a new one. And it's still doing nothing. So, well, maybe that wasn't exactly when I brought it up. 5 o'clock was when I brought it up. And since 5 o'clock, this one is still doing a 10-cent job. Actually, I think it's like 18 cents. i5, 6 cores, 32 gigabytes, RTX 3060 Ti is doing 18 cents. i5, 6 core, 64 gigabytes, RTX 3060. This one is doing $2.07. Nice. So this one you can see they are paying me more money because it has the more memory. So they are probably paying for the full 40 gigabytes of, or for the full 30 gigabytes of memory, not the smaller amount for the $1.30. I don't know exactly how much for that $1.30, how much memory it is they're paying for. But they're not paying for the full 30, because the full 30, you can't actually run the full 30 on 32 because you still need like 6 or something like that, or 7, just for system memory. So you need to have the full pretty much 64 in order to run the 40. You might... Is it 40 or is it 30? I don't even remember. In my head, I want to say it's 40, but it probably is 30 for their pay. And then you have to assume you have like 10 gigabytes of system memory. So you could theoretically run 48 gigabytes of memory. But I don't know if they've updated that yet or not. I'd imagine they will be updating to allow the customers to use more memory coming up pretty soon anyway. So, but you can see anyways, in this job, they are paying for the more memory. And you can really see where it just looks like their whole pay scale system thing is all messed up because his numbers are all over the place. But you can tell the last one normally in like the stretch is the one you're actually getting paid. The one for a certain amount of time that's actually going to cover like minutes instead of thousandths of a second. If it's just covering thousandths of a second, that doesn't really matter. But every time it updates the pay, it puts a new thing in there for the log. So the one that's the one at the end where it's actually running for a substantial period of time, that's the one for how much you're getting paid, which should be the one on the bottom. Because that's how that would work. So let's go to the next one. AMD Ryzen 5, 6 core, 64 gigabytes, RTX 3070 Ti. This one looks like it's like, ooh, it's doing $1.56. Balling over here on this machine. So AMD wants to make sure it doesn't get thrown on Warthog right now. Let's see. So this next one, i5, 6 cores, 32 gigabytes, RTX 3070. See, that says it's doing nothing, and that confirms it's doing nothing. And this says it's your GPU has insufficient VRAM. How do you have insufficient VRAM? There is literally nothing in here that should be causing you to have insufficient VRAM. Nothing at all. This looks like I just did the Revo on this, I'm pretty sure too. And the Revo still did not work to get rid of that insufficient VRAM. You are on the newest driver. That is the newest driver. Oh, Salad. Yeah, I don't think there's anything I can do about that. Just hit the retry button and see what happens. Let's go to the next one. Ryzen 5, 6 core, 64 gigabytes, RTX 3060 Ti. This one is doing 20 cents. Boo. Alright, the next one, i7. So this is a 10-year-old i7, 16 gigabytes of DDR3, RTX 3060. I thought someone was saying there was a way in here. Configure hardware. Is it in here somewhere? No. Someone was saying there's a way to turn off the integrated graphics. I don't think it's really doing anything. I just don't want to look at it. Performance. It's not using it at all. I don't think it's mattering. It does have the integrated graphics in there, though. Which seems to be weird. So, let's see, did we bring this back up? This is currently doing, 0 cents. It was doing 10 cents. I don't think this one's picked up a real job in a while either. I don't feel like scrolling through all that 10 cents nonsense. I don't think since 1.7.0 this machine has picked up a job. It could be because of the DDR3. This is clearly a very old machine. This is one that could realistically, I could gut this and take half these parts out of this and put them in something new. So I got stuff to pay for, so it'll be a while. But this one could, theoretically, I could get a new motherboard, CPU, and RAM, and then throw this GPU into a Warthog rig and see what happens. Because the power supply is good, the GPU's good, hard drive is good. So we'll see. So the next one, i3, 64 gigabytes of memory, RTX 3070. It's a 4-core CPU. This one is currently doing 10 cents. Boo. It was doing $1.30 there for quite a while. I guess it looks like that ended. So this next one, i3, 4 cores, 32 gigabytes of memory, RTX 3080. This one is doing 0. Boo. Alright, that is it for all of the machines. I think I have complained enough about it not working how I want it to be working. Let's see, is it showing up yet? No, I'm still showing 29 machines. See if I refresh this. Yeah, still showing 29 machines, even though we clearly just went through 30 that are running. So, the real problem with this right here, though, is whichever machine that 30th machine is, they're not paying me for that 30th machine right now. Because if I would go through and add up everything that was running for the 15 minutes and how much those estimated jobs were, it should be close to that number. Well, it'll be, we should have just seen, $22.70 worth of jobs in all of those if I would pull the calculator out. But this is only accounting for 29 machines. So they're not paying me right now. They should not. I'm pretty sure they're not paying me right now for that 30th machine. So now, is that 30th machine doing anything more than 10 cents? And do I care? I don't know. I'm definitely frustrated, though, because I want to be making sure I'm getting paid for everything. So I have the open ticket with Salad. So we'll see what happens with that. Let's see if I can look in my email here. So they said something like, are you worried about your money? And I'm like, that's not really what I wrote. I'm worried that I have 30 physical machines actively running, and the earnings summary page, earnings per machine, is only showing 29. I have 3 4090s, 2 4060 Ti's, 1 4070, 3 4060 Ti's, 5 3090s, 2 3080s, 2 3070 Ti's, 5 3070s, 3 3060 Ti's, and 4 3060s, equaling 30 rigs. I just double checked and logged into all 30 machines, and it's still reading 29. All 30 are logged in as me, but you are only showing 29 of my machines on the earnings summary page. So, yeah, definitely frustrated. Because, theoretically, they're probably stealing that 30th machine from me. Don't like that. I did not work hard to get to 30 machines, so I could only be getting paid for 29. Already barely getting paid enough as is. So, we'll see how things go. There might be pivoting. I know in the YouTube comments, some big guys are like, why don't you start selling stuff off? Because you could, make decent money on it. And it's just, I have a hesitation right now when it comes to selling stuff off. Because specifically what I want to do going forward, I don't want to sell something that I think I need. So, Warthog looks like it probably is the way going forward. But Warthog right now looks like that's really going to want my 3060 Ti's and my 3070s, which are my junkiest cards, to pair up with the motherboards, because putting 4090s on there isn't going to do any good unless I buy a dual epic setup, which costs way too much money. But I could, in theory, I was thinking about this, if I were to be selling to upgrade, I think the way I'd make the most money right now, I could probably sell, whoops, I shouldn't be swearing. I could sell that 4070 probably. Because that 4070 is just no good at anything. I could try to sell that 4070 and then see if I can get another 4060 Ti or a 3090 with it. And then I think I could look possibly at selling my 3 4090s. Because if I can sell all those right now for $1,700 to $1,800, I don't know exactly how much they're going for, but I'm sure they're going for a lot. Because I don't think they're making any more of them right now. So I think right now would be the pinnacle for how much I can make on them. until that 5090 comes out. If I could sell all 3 of them for like 17 to 18 a piece, that would make it easier for me to buy 3 5090s then when the 5090s come out. I could probably pick up 2 of them immediately, and then that third one might take a little bit, depending on how much they actually cost. But that would be my thought process on selling stuff, because, like, I don't really want to sell my 3070s, because I think if I go to Warthog, I'm going to need those. My 3060s, I think, are still pretty amazing right now on Salad. My 2 3070 Ti's, I guess I feel like I kind of care less about them. I could probably sell both them off without a problem. I could probably look at selling trading in the 2 3080s to get 2 more 4060 Ti's, but like the 4060 Ti's not really crushing it like how I want to see it crushing it on Salad right now, so I don't know. There's nothing I see in the process of selling anything right now that looks like it'd really be that good of an idea. Or that much of an easy, like, no-brainer, like, this will definitely work really well. Because some of my GPUs, and these things have been crypto mined on pretty heavy, I can tell you for sure, not all of them the DisplayPort work. And I don't know if all of them the HDMI work. So reselling them is an issue. Some of them can be an issue. Some of them are still working great and fine, and I'm not having any issues. I don't know what happened with the display ports on half of them. They just don't seem to work anymore. So on a lot of the cheaper, older cards. So, like, if I would, part of my thought process would be I'd almost need to, like, talk to Brandon and see if I could just buy, like, 10 GPUs from him, like, dirt cheap, like some old Ryzen 4070s or something. Throw those in the old rigs. Throw more hard drive space in them, because I have so many 3 terabyte hard drives. It's not funny. 3 terabyte and 4 terabyte hard drives that I know I'm never going to use any of those 3 terabyte hard drives ever. I probably have 50 of them, 100 of them. I don't even know. From Salad, I have so many hard drives. So I could throw like a bunch of extra hard drives in and be like, oh, look at all this extra storage you'd have on this thing. You could do so much stuff with this, with everything, but I don't know. But then it would also go too, in order to save money on the hard drives I have in there, I wouldn't want to sell the 1 terabyte hard drives. So then I would have to go and buy the 250 gigabyte hard drives to throw in there too. So I need to buy a GPU and a new hard drive. It just starts sounding like a lot of work to then deal with Facebook Marketplace and 100 people messaging me and be like, oh, I totally want to get it. Does it work right? And be like, yeah, it works great. I've fully tested it, and you can come check it out, and I'll even give you 30-day warranty on it if anything goes wrong, kind of thing. And just seems like it all just be a giant hassle for something that I may turn around and need in like a week because a new project comes out. That'll just work better for me literally just to sit on it than to sell it. So that's kind of my thought process on that. Hopefully that makes sense and you can see it to be useful. I definitely think I've talked to some of you guys on what you have for your rigs. The one guy said he's got 30 3070s, and if he can sell those 30 3070s and get 15 3090s, or even get 10 3090s, that seems like that might be a much better use. 'Cause even if the 3090 is about to be old, dude, they're crushing it on Salad right now. Now, it's no guarantee they're not going to go back to just doing $1.70 in 2 months, and they're not going to just go back to just being useless again, but I think they might still be better. But I don't know, the 3070s, though, look like they might be like really, really, really good right now for Warthog because you don't need that big of a GPU. Like your GPU is like pretty much like no matter what GPU you use, like your GPU is gonna be severely bottlenecked by your CPU anyways. So like if I were to get into Warthog real heavy, I'd probably want to start buying 3070s and 3060 Ti's. I probably want to buy 3060 Ti's, which seems really weird. I'd probably want the 3060 Ti over the 3070 because I think you get a little bit better electric. It's a cheaper card. And it might work better, but it depends. I'd have to figure out exactly which CPU I'd want, and I'd probably want to mass build everything out pretty much with the same CPU and work it out like that. But we'll see. We'll see if Warthog is even still a thing, because it'll probably take like 2 months still right now before I'm able to really start considering any kind of real growth or expansion. I got too much stuff on the plate and coming down the pipe. But that's going to be it for this video. I've definitely rambled way too long. Yeah, we're at 46 minutes already. So, if you liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe, coming back, comment down below. I'm pretty good about getting back to comments. I should be off for kind of like the next, I guess the next day. Thursday we're probably really busy with family stuff, and then I'm gonna have to go to Thanksgiving on Thursday in my work clothes, and then leave from Thanksgiving. I'm gonna have to drive separately to Thanksgiving from my wife, so that I can leave straight from Thanksgiving to go to work. So, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.